You know, at first I doubted that Holistic Designs could top their previous strategy game Merchant Prince, but I have to confess that I really love Hammer of the Gods.
What's to love? You wander around, you attack cities. If you win, you can choose to raid, plunder, or raze it. I don't understand the point of this at all.
Raiding takes only a few movement points, but only nets you a small percentage of the city's stores. Razing levels the city, leaving a ruin, and yields all of the city's stored gold, but costs all of your remaining move points. Plundering is about half and half on all counts.
I still don't get the point. What's the difference?
The Vikings made their living as coastal raiders. If you raze all of the cities within close sailing distance, kiss your income goodbye.
I still didn't enjoy this game much. Why bother to conquer cities? I mean, they have food and wares values that they generate, but they don't produce anything.
Dude, it's not Master of Magic. The point of the game isn't to conquer cities, it's to complete the series of quests in the quest tree. Ultimately, these lead you to Odin's Quest. The first player to complete this wins the game and becomes Hammer of the Gods. There are really only a couple of different types of quests. Raid something, kill something, explore a number of map squares, offer your daughter's hand in marriage, that sort of thing. The actual details of the quests get harder the further into the game you get. For instance, an easy quest might be raid any one village, while a harder quest would be raid any 4 burgs, a burg being tougher and better defended than a village. Get it?
Uh-huh.
You can't just pick any old quest, though. You can only work on one quest at a time, and it has to be one that branches off part of the quest tree you've already finished.
Looks like the technology tree for Master of Orion.
It's kind of like that, only in Hammer, climbing the tree is actually the point of the game. Imagine that you were playing Master of Orion, but instead of conquering the galaxy to win, you had to develop, I don't know, stargates or something.
Oh, okay.
Finishing a quest earns you a reward from the god who assigned it to you. This takes the form of free hero and special troop units, magic items, and spells. Part of the strategy in the game involves balancing the difficulty of the quest you choose with the rewards you'll get for finishing it, as well as the quests it'll lead you to.
So the focus of the game really has almost nothing to do with the big tile-based map you move units around on.
Well, except that that's where completing the quests actually occurs.
And you don't see this as a problem.
Well, it's different, but no, I don't think it's bad just because it's different.
So enough about the quest tree. What about the rest of the game?
It's not so different from other tile-based strategy games on that count. You move units around exploring the map. Like Merchant Prince, the unexplored areas of the map aren't covered with blankness. They're overlaid with a sepia-toned representation of the map as you know it, which gets less accurate the further you get from your home city.
I have to admit, this is one innovation I wish other strategy game developers would steal.
When you move a unit into a neutral or enemy city, battle breaks out. Battle takes place on a side-view tactical map. The animations during combat are pretty good, though not earth-shaking. And surprisingly, although it's not a war game, the tactical display actually allows you to employ some simple tactics.
What a concept.
Possibly one of the best elements in the game is the use of diplomacy. In addition to the usual peace treaties and trade agreements, you can agree to exchange just about anything: money, map information, spells, or your daughter's hand in marriage.
Tell you what I do like. I like the fact that you can choose how you offer a deal. You can tell an opponent, here, have this gold, or I offer you this gift of gold in exchange for map information. Or you can say, give me the map info I want or I'll come over there and kick your Nordic butt. I also like the fact that treaties are more enforceable than in most strategy games. If you've ever had to change government types in order to eliminate an enemy unit parked on one of your city's production squares in Civ, you know what I mean. Breaking a treaty results in a loss of honor, which affects the way the computer players and your own troops respond to you, and will also make it harder to complete certain quests.
You can also offer up your son as a hostage for agreeing to a peace treaty. Break the treaty and the kid gets the axe. I'm saddened to confess, though, that there are a couple of problems with Hammer of the Gods.
Are these gameplay problems or other problems?
A little of both. My biggest gripe with it is that after a while, panning the mouse across the screen caused all sorts of nasty graphics glitches. The manual mentions that this might be a problem for mice that aren't 100% Microsoft compatible, but it ain't like my Logitech Mouseman is some $9.95 Taiwanese knockoff.
Well, that's not too bad. The early releases of Merchant Prince had a similar problem, but it was fixed in an upgrade, and I expect the same will happen with Hammer.
Overall, I like Hammer of the Gods. It's got kind of a weird feel to it, very different from your traditional explore and exploit strategy game, but if you're into raping and pillaging in the name of Thor, simulated, of course, Hammer captures the essence of Viking culture superbly.
I have to admit, I do like the fact that you have a clear-cut goal. Call me a purist, but I like games you can win.
Besides, how can you not like a game where the description of the Cause Fear spell says, and I quote, A successful fear spell causes the target to scream like a girly man and immediately leave the field of combat.